Shalom. I want to start by giving all praise to Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, Baruch Kudash, double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone for teaching us the scriptures. Among other things, salutations to Yakim across the earth for doing this work in sincerity and in truth. Shalom. So this is an article that I stumbled up on, and I went into it a while ago. So, these Edomites in Holland, they went against the islands of Aruba and Curacao because it's not, I said that there's not allowed, they don't allow gay marriages, whether it be male with male or female with female, they don't allow it, by law. And, on some way they still are under Holland, under the Netherlands. So they try to push this sodomy thing on them, Let me just read the article. So it is from new.nl. Aruba opposes ruling to open up marriage. The government of Aruba is appealing in cassation against a ruling on opening up marriage to the people of the same sex in Aruba and Curacao. This is a judgment of the Common Court of Curacao. The Aruban government believes that the judge set the government seat with the verdict. Yeah, because they said that the islands, the Caribbean, that they supposed to accept it, According to the current legislation of Aruba and Curacao, a marriage can only be entered into between a man and a woman, and that's how it's supposed to be. The Most High, the powers made them male and female, so it's very clear. But they keep pushing this wickedness, Why? Because this Edomite, this devil, the so-called white people, they are created to do evil. Matter of fact, let me jump real quick to scripture. Got me thinking about scripture in the book of Jeremiah. Let me see, is it chapter 13? Yes, this chapter 13, verse 23. Can the Ethiopian change his skin, or the leopard his spots? Then may ye also do good that are accustomed to do evil. So the Most High have created Esau to be a wicked piece of shit. So it is in his nature to go against everything. Against everything which is how I say that, to go against everything. Basically to go against the Most High. All the righteous, everything which is in order, which is right, he's going against it. It's in his nature. He's created to be a wicked piece of shit. So according to the current legislation of Aruba and Curacao, a marriage can only be entered into between a man and a woman. But the court ruled on December 6 that excluding same-sex marriage is in violation of the prohibition of discrimination and state regulations. And that's funny, because with the sodomy thing, they pulling all those strings concerning discriminations and this and that, while they've been discriminating our people for the longest. Don't forget this Dutch, and I mentioned it in multiple videos of mine. I have mentioned it. These Dutchies, these so-called people from these Edomites, the so-called white people from Holland, from the Netherlands, they are special, man. They're very special. Don't forget, they were the first one who sent a slave ship from the west coast of Africa to America. They were the last one to stop with slavery, while the other Edomites quit with slavery. Holland went long, at least for another 10 years. They went there especially to shoot down the so-called Indians in America. So they came with horrible torture techniques, on the islands, they for Curacao, they spoke about them, that they were wicked than the other rulers that they had over there, because the Spanish were at Curacao. You had the Portuguese there, you had the French there, you had the English there. But the Dutch were the worst. They were the last one also, but they came with cruel torture techniques. Also in Suriname, which is also there's also a lot of going on in the head in the capital city of Suriname. Paramaribo. People are rioting. They're fed up. They're hungry. That's it. A hungry man, like Bob Marley said, a hungry man is an angry man. So that's what's going on. And this is it's part of prophecy. Don't forget, we got a GMS camp in Suriname also. We got brothers there teaching also, and a lot of people over there, they hate them. They really fighting against them, talking trash about them. Do their best to pull them down. So they're really hating on them. So yeah, the Most High, and the scriptures are very clear. The book of I believe it's First Peter's. Let me check it out. Yes, book of First Peter's, chapter 4, verse 17. For the time has come that judgment must begin at the house of Yahweh Basham Yahushai. So that already shows you. So I saw a lot of clips. People being shot down by the military over there. Headshots and everything. They got big guns over there. The police don't play over there. So judgment must begin at the house of Yahweh Basham Yahushai. So that's exactly what's happening. And it's funny because those people are in the dark. They don't know what's going on over there, what is hitting them, and there's nothing. This is nothing yet. It's gonna be far worse, man. Blood's gonna be as high as a horse bridle, and the horse bridle is the mouthpiece where you control the horse with. So, and it doesn't mean literally that you're gonna swim in the blood, but it means it talks about there's going to be a lot of blood. It's going to be a lot of blood shed. The Most High will start with his own people first. Also in the book of Isaiah, chapter 66, it also says, let me see. So this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 66, verse 15. For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. So it's talking about a horrible time. For by fire and by a sword will the Lord plead with all flesh. So everybody's gonna get it. And the slain of the Lord shall be many. So, that's very clear by itself already. So like the funny thing, it's not really funny. Like on the islands, Curacao, the majority of people that are living there are from the tribe of Benjamin. And from Aruba, I'm not sure which tribe, but they are from northern tribes. They are northern tribes. You have a lot of people who come from the majority of the people that live there are from the Arawaka, so-called Arawaka Indians. And I'm not sure of what tribe they are, but they are northern tribes. But you also got southern tribes over there also. You got a place called San Nicolas. They call it Chocolate City, and that's where a lot of dark-skinned Jakes, Negro-looking Jakes living over there. So back to the article. The Joint Court of Justice Aruba, Curaçao, Sint Maarten, and Bonaire and Sint Eustatius and Saba ruled in two cases simultaneously. One that was brought from Curaçao and one from Aruba. Curaçao already announced on December 13 that it will appeal in the cassation. The country does not see any legal obligation, nationally or internationally, to open marriage to people of the same sex. Yeah, and that's good that they going against it. That's good, finally, because Curacao been kissing the ass of this of the Dutchies far too long. Which is also funny. And yeah, it's not funny. Of course, it's corruption. They put their own people in the political parties. But it's funny if you have a country when the people there they were your slaves, so they worked for nothing for you, made your country rich. you know over the back of our ancestors. Holland became rich by stealing and robbing, because that's what they were doing until this day. And then you give the people freedom. But Bob Marley already sang it in his song, Slave Driver, because that's exactly what they did. And then they put the island in debt. How can you be in debt if you paid with your life for a country to become rich? And then they put you in debt. They lend you money, so-called, to fix yourself up. But, basically they give you a bag which is full of holes. They give you some water. It's like, okay, keep the water in the bag, but the bag is full of holes. That's the shit that they've been doing. Fucking bullshit, man. It's fucking bullshit. So the Joint Court of Aruba, Curacao, Saint Martin, Bonaire, Saint Eustatius, and Saba ruled in 2 cases simultaneously. One that was brought from Curacao and one from Aruba. Curacao already announced on December 13 that it would appeal in cassation. The country does not see any legal obligation, nationally or internationally, to open marriage to people of the same sex. In the Curacao case, the court also ruled that human rights treaties are being violated because no registered partnership has been introduced. Aruba knows that shape. So Aruba, they are allowed people of the same sex to live together on paper officially, and Curacao they don't. So they saying that Curacao is worse. A bill is currently being considered by the Aruban parliament to allow same-sex marriages. According to the government in Oranjestad, this separate from the decision to appeal. The government wants clarity on the question whether the way in which the court expressed its legal task is correct. So this devil, he is pushing this sodomy everywhere. He lays his filthy claws on. I also saw a clip. One of the brothers posted that in a group app. And in that clip is in Australia. I believe it's in the capital city, Sydney. You have a painting there. On a big building, a big painting there. You see a big teddy bear, a teddy head, with the under a man. How this gay man dress, with the leather on, and the sodomy flag beneath him. So that's a big painting, and that's on a place where people walk by with their children. So they think it's okay for children to see those things. That's why they got those demons going to schools and libraries and reading children books for children. And even here in Holland, there was also a case. Also had a sodomite, a pedophile, who also wrote a pedophile book, and he wanted to push his book around the country, but they caught him, and they spread the news about him on social media and threatened him if he would show up somewhere that they would do something against him. So he didn't proceed by going, because they had this period. They also always got a period that they want people who wrote books to read for children, which is bullshit, because the only book actually the people should that you should read is the Bible, the Holy Scriptures. Because Esau is a wicked piece of shit, so he keeps pushing his shit. So this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 3, verse 9. They show off their countenance that does witness against him, and they declare the sin of Sodom, they hide it not. Woe unto their soul, for they have rewarded evil unto themselves. Yeah, don't think that the Most High is gonna let this go. Don't think that they're gonna pay for this wickedness, but nevertheless they're pushing it, But they will pay for it, and it's kind of funny, it also shows you the pride and the stupidity of the people. But yeah, the pride is there because, judgment, it doesn't come quick. So people think that they can continue with their wicked shit and nothing will happen to them. That's the spirit that they are in. Matter of fact, let me jump real quick to the book of Ecclesiastes because it reminds me of a scripture. I think it's, let me see which chapter it was again. Maybe, oh yeah. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 8, verse 11. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. So, because judgment doesn't come quick, they think they can do all this wicked shit and nothing will happen to them. But what did Yahweh Shai said in the book of Revelations? Let me jump to that real quick. So this is the book of Revelation, chapter 22, and verse 12. And behold, Slakia, and behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me to give every man according as his work shall be. So these are the words of Yahweh Shai. So that's very clear. Before you know it, it's going to be that time of judgment. This is the time to get back to Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai and get right. You don't want to be on the right side, on the wrong side of the track. There's only you're with Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai or you are against him. And matter of fact, let me jump to the book of Luke. Yeah, let me jump real quick to the book of Luke. Let me see. This is the book of Luke, chapter 19, verse 27. But those my enemies which would not that I should reign over them, bring hither and slay them before me. These are the words of Yahweh Shai. That sweet gibberish that they be preaching in the church. Hey, Yahweh Shai is angry, man. Don't forget all the shit that they've been doing to him, slandering him, portraying him as a so-called white man, as a sodomite with long hair, talking all this shit about him. They chose a criminal over Yahweh Shai. So of course he's angry. And he's waiting to get back, to get his revenge. And let me read the book of Isaiah again, chapter 3 and verse 9. They show off the countenance that witness against him, and they declare their sin as Sodom. And you can read the book of Genesis, you can read chapter 13. Then you can read a little bit concerning Sodom. And in chapter 19, I believe. Let me check it out real quick. Let me see. Yeah, if you go to chapter 19, and then it's going to show you the judgment that went on Sodom and its 5 neighboring cities. Brimstone and fire. And you had people, Edomites, going over there and search that place. Esau liked to investigate everything, so he went over there and saw that something happened there. He saw it. He found phosphor. So yeah. But yeah, I'm thinking gonna leave it like that. So yeah, you still can see that there is these Jacob descendants on the islands. They're not completely done with the sodomy, so they still want to fight it back. But yeah, the thing is, everywhere this devil put his claws on, he's pushing that sodomy. Don't forget all the shit that they've been doing. The buck breaking, for example. If you watch the documentary, The Hut of Uncle Tom, it shows you how he was turning all these little boys into sodomites. It's horrible. And this buck breaking, they would take the biggest male, the strongest male, tie him up, and make all the slaves watch while they rape him. This shows you how sick these people are, man. These Edomites. Of our people, you also got sick people. That's why, A lot of our people gonna be put to death. You know, that's why the Mosai needs to start with his own people first, clean his own house first. Then he goes outside, and we're gonna shed a lot of blood. He's gonna shed a lot of blood. Thus said the Bible. Of the heathens, man, all's gonna be included, man. None's gonna be excluded. Like the scripture said, there's not one that haven't gotten over spoils. There's not one that haven't profit from us being the tail. Whether they had us in captivity or not. So yeah, so with that, I want to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, Baruch Kodash, a double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace salutation to Akim across the earth who doing his work in sincerity and in truth. So with that, I'm going to say Shalom.